Hello everyone, it's Shauna coming to you live from her craft room in Edmond, Oklahoma. Today is August 31st. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Labor Day weekend. I have been in my craft room working most of the weekend, so it's been wonderful. That's my happy place. If you guys see the red live button flashing on and off over to your left hand side of the screen, you're catching me live. Stop by, say hi. Let me make sure I'm in the right spot. I am. Make sure you guys can hear me okay. You guys see you can. All right. However, what did I just do? Bear with me just a second. There we go. I'm trying to turn on live comments and it's not working. Good old Facebook. Let me try getting out and then getting back in. There we go. Am I in the right spot? Yes. Enlarge. Why is it doing that? Oh, goodness gracious, guys. I love technology. Said no one ever. Okay, I hope I can see you guys' comments because it's not letting me turn on real comments. Sorry about that. Alright, so this is the card that we're making. I hope you guys love it as much as I do. Masculine birthday cards, or masculine cards at all, are kind of hard to make, but this, I love this. And this is using the online exclusive Scenic Adventure dies. It is a great die. It's got some mountains, has some water, some flowers, some grass, some trees, some bigger trees. You can do a little moon and some stars. So just beautiful things. Hello, Mom. How are you? Hi, Miss Sweet Lily. All right. So let me put that aside real quick. There are 3 levels of creativity. There is something for everyone. There is our step-by-step kits, our instructions. These are the ones in the brown kits that are online at stampinup.com. These kits are great because they are all inclusive. They have everything. Your adhesive, your ink, everything. So you can take these kits and they're great for on the go. If you're camping, if you're at your kids' after school sport practices, these are great to pull out. The paper pumpkins are a monthly subscriptions. These are kind of a surprise to us every month. It's kind of like Christmas at your door. These, we get little sneak peeks, and the one right now that you need to be subscribed by September 10th is this one right here. It's a great fall one, it looks like. Here's again our sneak peeks. We've got some great pecan pie, Cajun craze, pumpkin pie. It looks like a little fox, some little nuts, some acorns. And it coordinates with this mini that's in our holiday catalog. You guys, September 3rd. I can show you guys the new catalog. Are you excited? I'm excited. Because right now, all I can do is show you the front and the back. Womp, 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 right? I can open this bad boy up September 3rd. September 3rd through January 5th. Sorry. So next Saturday or next weekend's Facebook Live, whatever day that may be, I think on Saturday, but I'm not sure 100% yet. We're going to be going through that catalog, and I'm going to be showing you some new product that I actually have here. Because looking at it in the catalog's one thing, but seeing it in person is so much better. Alright, I'm going to try turning on my comments once again and seeing if I can... My comments are not working. This is stinky poo. Okay. Let's see. Maybe one more. Let's try one more time. Anyway, we do have something for everyone. So we have our kits. The brown boxes are online at stampinup.com. We come out with 2, sometimes 3 different ones every month. So if you're not shopping online, you're missing out. And these are our monthly subscription kits. And if you're ever interested, let me know and I can help you sign up for that. It's really easy. I think the monthly subscription ones, I don't know if they're 25 or 27. They've gone up on the price. Good, I'm glad. We have our quick and easy options, which are the mix and match sections of the catalog. They have certain card and envelope packs that go with some stickers and die cuts. They all coordinate and play nice together, and you can just pick this and that and create however you want. So that's great for kind of the intermediate level. And then we've got Creativity Your Way, which is anything goes, most of our catalog. And as I go through the catalog next month, you'll see the different sections. I'll remember to kind of pinpoint that out to everybody. So, again, like I said, this catalog starts September 3rd. This is our current annual catalog. We always have one annual catalog that goes from the summer to the next summer. And then we have a holiday mini for the fall. And then a holiday mini that comes out in January for like the spring. So 3 catalogs a year. And then every 2 months they come out with new online exclusives. There's always the last chance products, which are the discounted products, again online. So there's a lot of stuff that is online that you can't really see in the catalogs, that if you're not shopping online, you're missing out, and I don't want you to miss out. And that's the reason why I show you guys a lot of the online products, because they are great. I love them more than the catalog products sometimes, which is kind of sad. Does anybody else have the allergy thing going on? Ugh. I hate when temperature changes from hot to cold or back and forth. My allergies go crazy. Okay. So, I apologize for the coughing. I apologize for the sniffling ahead of time. This is a craft fair that is coming up the end of next month, September 27th. This is a real small craft show. If you're here local, great. Come by, say hi. If you're not, you might want to wait for one of the bigger markets. This is their 5th year to have it. There's about 100 vendors. And it's from 10 to 2. It's a really short one. It's at a local church just right down the road from me, which is great for me because that's the customer base that I want is local. So, because I do monthly card and scrapbooking classes, so this is how I kind of get my name out there, other than through social media and you guys sharing my videos and commenting on them and getting myself out kind of in the Facebook world. So this one, again, September 27th from 10 to 2. If you're here local, come see me and Jason. He'll be doing some woodworking stuff. And then this is a second one that we have. This is November 8th. This is Earth Glow Market. This one, it's like their 30th year anniversary. They've been doing this one for a long time. It's a pretty big one. It's from 9 to 3. So as we get closer to these dates, I'll start posting the addresses so that you guys can come find me. Okay, you guys. I know I said that we're doing this card, but before I move on, I just want to show you these are the cards that I made for my September monthly card club. And I love the versatility of this die set. I have always loved mountains and trees and nature, but I just love this die set. It has all these, it doesn't make the cuts all the way through, but it puts indentions and texture into it. And when you combine that with ink blending, I'm telling you, so pretty. I also made this cute little adorable treat box. This has a Hostess S'mores cupcake in it. Kind of opens up like a ring box. So I have been loving it. All right, I'm going to move this to the side. We're going to get started. If you guys like to get inky, this is the video for you. And I guess I'm just not going to be turning on my comments. So let me try one more time. Oh, I love you, Facebook, when you work. Okay, there I am on the right page. Now if I go to comment, there they are. Yay, it worked. Goodness gracious. Okay, now if you say hi, I can see you. Or if you comment, I can see you. So there is quite a bit of die cutting. Let's start there. Because really the card itself, I'll just show you real quick. This is just a half a sheet of crumb cake. You know, our normal A2 card that I show pretty much every week. And we have a sheet of early espresso. This is a 1/16, no, an 1/8, smaller on all sides. So that's our layer. And then I'm pulled out, I don't know if you guys will remember this. This is still current, believe it or not. I think everybody loved this pack of paper. I showed it off quite a while back. This is called Country Woods 12 by 12 Designer Series paper. It's item 163393. And it is this pack of paper right here. Again, all of our paper is double-sided, and I've used a lot of this paper pack. You guys will probably remember it. Came out with the birds last catalog, but it's a great distressed, masculine, woodsy paper pack. So it is still current. The one that we used is the back side of this. So, and that again is an 1/8 of an inch smaller. So that's really our main card. It's just those layers and then all the die cuts. I did use the deckled circles. These are not current anymore. You might be able to find them on the, I don't even think they're on the last chance list. I think they're gone. But any circle die will work. I just thought this was really cool because it has the rough edges. So I have just a whole bunch of scratched pieces of paper. So boho blue for, is that boho blue? Am I giving you the right? No, balmy blue for the lake. Basic beige for the mountains. Mossy meadow, no, take that back. Old olive for the trees. I think that's it. I used a scrap piece for the happy birthday, again, crumb cake. So those are kind of the colors that I'm playing with. And then, of course, lots of ink blending. So let's get to it. Enough chatting, let's get to crafting. That's what my cousin Teresa says, and I love it. Okay. I'm going to do the die cuts first, so let me bring in my big Mamba Jumbo Big Shot. And I'm going to grab, let's do our deckled circle first. Oh, my nose, I'm so sorry, guys. This is the, out of this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's the 6th one over. It's pretty good size. So I'm just going to put that on here and run it through. I'm going to try to get most of the die cutting stuff done. At the beginning, I will have to be bringing in this deckled circle a few different times throughout. You'll see why. So there's that. And then let me grab, I've already done the trees. There's that. So again, I'm just going to pull these out. It's easier to see. But here are the trees right here. I'm going to need one of these, kind of a bushy, grassy look. And again, the old olive. You will notice that this die, it does not cut. Give me just a second. I'm going to try to give myself a straight edge here. Sorry. Okay. This die is, it doesn't cut out. You kind of have to bring in your scissors, but the way they designed it this way, you can give yourself as much area. If you wanted to put them way up here, if you wanted tall trees, it just really depends. So I'm going to put it right there and run it through. You'll see what I mean here in a second when I pull this out. And I am going to run this through a couple of times. See how this, it puts all this texture and dimension in it, but it doesn't fully cut out the die. And it's designed that way because if you wanted to make your bush longer, you would just lay this up here and run it through again and it would all connect. So I'm just going to take my snips and snip that off. Put that one there. I'm going to try to keep track of all my pieces. We do need the little flower die. I'm just going to put that through kind of over here on the edge. Are you guys having fun over there playing, Mom? guys playing Barbies? She's watching my little grand girl. Okay, so here's this one, and again, it doesn't cut it all the way out, so I'm just going to bring in my paper snips and then pull it out. We need I've got my green out, so again, this is Old Olive. I'm cutting most of my stuff out of the Old Olive. Take these trees and run it through. I love the detail in these dies. Our dies have come a long way, especially in this last couple of catalogs. They've just really, where's my little pokey tool? I had it here just a second ago. Seriously, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. You just kind of put your little pokey tool, see if I can talk today, through these little holes, and then that'll kind of pull it out like this. And then there is another smaller tree, and I think that is it for the green stuff. The Old Olive stuff. It's so funny because okay, where did my piece go? There it is. Yesterday I didn't have to poke them out, and today they're kind of sticking in there. Okay, so there's the Old Olive. I'm going to grab some Scratch Basic Beige. This was a great new color that Stampin' Up came out with. We have not had the Basic Beige up until recently, and I love it. It's a great neutral color. So we've got this big one right here. I'm gonna actually, let me turn my thing around. And then we have a smaller little mountain. I'm gonna run these through both at the same time. We did play Barbies and a bunch of other stuff. Good. I'm glad you guys are having fun. She would have been bored here. Grandma's not. I've been busy. I tell you what. I have been. I'll bring this into frame real quick. Maybe. See all those cards? That has been my last few weekends. There is about, I think I counted like 85 of them. Gearing up for the craft show. Okay, I think that's it for the Basic Beige. And again, they don't fully cut, so I'll cut those out with my snips here in a second. I need to grab the Balmy Blue and do the lake. I'm gonna change it this way. Hopefully I'm still on camera. Wow, yeah. I've been a busy girl. It's a good thing I love what I do. Okay, I'm not on camera. Okay. This is a weird angle. I'm going to turn it back that way. So I was trying to show you guys this die. It could have been a little bit bigger for my liking, but you can take it and you can change directions with it, turn it upside down, depending on how big of a lake or a pond or, you know, whatever you want. But it makes the ripples in your water. Okay, let's see if I can turn my paper this way and get... So you kind of have to play with it, I guess is what I'm saying. So this one takes a few little twists. They do make electronic die cutting machines, and I have thought about it because I do a lot of die cutting. Stampin' Up! Doesn't. I shouldn't say that. I think it's Scenic, which years ago Stampin' Up! Teamed with Scenic, and that's why we have this big shot. Okay, one more little spot right here and we'll be good. And that's not gonna work because my paper's not gonna go through. I need to put it up here. That could have been disastrous. Sorry, my big old fat arm is in the camera. Okay. Oh, goodness. It's a workout. Okay. Let me put that back on my little sheet over there. And because I have this one out, let's just start with this one. I'm just going to come in here and cut off this layer right here. Okay. And if you wanted it, I mean, I know a lake is not, you could go in here and, you know, cut some little pieces out there. And that way it's not straight across. It gives you a little bit more of realisticness, I guess. I'm going to bring this back in and I'm going to just come in here and cut these pieces off. Mom, I am hoping to get almost completely caught up this weekend. I'm hoping. I could have stayed up later last night. I should have stayed up later last night, but I couldn't. Okay, this is just a silicone craft sheet. I'm going to use this instead of bringing out my glass mat. That glass mat gets a little glary. I guess that's the best word. Glary. When I'm videoing, all the lights and everything shine off of it, so it's kind of hard to show you guys. What I'm trying to do, I should have paid more attention to this when I popped it out. Trying to line this back up in this die because this may take me forever. Do I have it? Is it right? I think it's right here. And it doesn't really matter. I kind of marked the top of my die. I don't know if you guys can see that with a Sharpie. So that because I'm going to have to put this back in a few different times, and I'll show you why throughout. But, okay. I was trying to figure out what the top of my circle was. So we have lots of inks. That's why I said if you guys really love ink blending, this video is for you. So for the water, or for, not the water, the sky, I'm going to pull in, this is a piece of Coastal Cabana. Yes, Coastal Cabana. Actually, yes. No, Pool Party. It's Pool Party, sorry. And I am just going to, let me pull back in my card. I'm going to start with this piece. And there might actually be some ink left on. There is a little bit. What I did was I pulled out some Azure Afternoon. And I just kind of went around the sides. And I want some of this Pool Party to shine through. I just want it to have some dimension. So I don't know if you guys can see that. Hopefully you can. And while I'm going to put that to the side. That's all I want to do right there. I'm going to go ahead, since I have my blues out. Let me do, and again with ink blending, you want to not dip this in your ink and then put a big thing, because if not, you're going to get a big smudge. You're going to get a big oopsie, and you don't want that. Which is the reason why I love my glass mat or this silicone sheet, because over here to the side, I can kind of come off and then come up in here. And I don't get that big old splotchy mess. Oh, this one's kind of glary too. Oh, I was thinking this would be a lot better on video. I mean, I guess it is than my glass mat, but still. Okay, and I'm gonna leave, this was Balmy Blue. So this was Coastal Cabana. No, this was Pool Party. This one is Balmy Blue. So again, I just took a little bit of Azure Afternoon around the top edging of that. And then I'm just going to take some of this Azure Afternoon and go like that. And then I'm just going to come in just a little bit more with some Blueberry Bushel. You want to go lightest to darkest when you're using your blending brushes, because now when I go into, because see, I still have quite a bit of color. I did that off on the side. I still have quite a bit of color on this blender, and I would not want this to have the dark Blueberry Bushel and then dip into my Azure Afternoon. So make sure when you're doing some ink blending that you're going light to dark. Unless you really, really, really want to clean off your blending brush in between uses. And again, I am doing a very, very, very light touch. I want 3 different colors. I want some dark, some medium, and some light. So that's what I've got going on there. And let me bring my little, this is from the glass mat. I'm going to try to get as much of that up as possible, and then I'm just going to bring in a paper towel. And now that I have some of that blueberry bushel on here, I could even, for even just a darker, spread that on real fast. And you're not going to see a lot of that. And I may even use this part right here. I like that part a little bit better than this part. I think I got too much there. This one, that pool party is shining through a little bit more. So, to each their own though. Okay, so that's enough of the blue. And again, after I just wiped all that off, that's good enough. Okay, let's bring in the browns. So I have 3 different browns: crumb cake, pecan pie, and early espresso. And again, we're going to start with the lightest first. This one is not going to show up a lot because, let me make sure, hold on just a second guys, I want to get, I still have some blue on here. I'm going to get a wet wipe. Because I'm using a light color. I probably should have started out with my mountains first. Yeah. See, there was still a little bit of blue on there. So now I want to make sure I dry that off before I lay my nice paper in there that we die cut. Okay. So I'm already using the basic beige, but I'm going to start out with crumb cake, which is just a little bit of a level up. And I'm pretty much going to bring all of this. Crumb cake is not a very dark color. I'm going to bring it up real high up onto my mountain range. And again, I still want some of this basic beige, the color of the cardstock, shining through. And this is going to look like a big old mess at first. And then when the card comes together, you guys are going to be like, wow. And I will have to say, it does take a little bit of time for that brown, that ink to settle into the cardstock. So I'm going to switch to pecan pie, the next darkest. And I'm going to bring this just a little bit, not as far up as I went on the crumb cake, but kind of to the middle. I don't know if you guys can see this level right here. So we have the basic beige on the tip, some crumb cake, some pecan pie, and then some early espresso down at the bottom. This is probably Lily's, my granddaughter's favorite. She's always asking, Grandma, can I use your blending brushes? I want to blend. She likes to get inky. She is definitely my crafty girl. Okay, so I think I've come up far enough with my pecan pie. Now I'm going to reach for my, oh, you know what? I forgot about this little guy. Hold on. Ugh. I even had it laying in front of my eyeballs so I wouldn't forget. I'm cleaning off my blender over here because, again, this is the darker color. I don't want to get the darker color into my light. So let me come back up here. back to my crumb cake. And I want to come, again, pretty high. I'm going to add a little bit more while I got this out. Why not, huh? Okay. Come back to my pumpkin pie, my pecan pie, not my pumpkin pie. We don't want no orange mountains. Put a little bit of pecan pie on here. And again, I'm trying to do 4 levels here. I've got my cardstock, which is my basic beige, and then I have some crumb cake. Now I've got some pecan pie on here. See, inky fingers. And now let's bring in the early espresso. And a little bit of this goes a long way. So, this is really dark. Okay, I think that is pretty dark. In fact, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking I might want to clean off my blender brush. I'm doing that over to the side. I know you guys can't see me doing that, but I want to get a lot of that dark ink off. And I'm going to bring in just a little bit more of this pecan pie. I feel like I didn't necessarily get enough. There, I'm good with that. And then maybe, there we go. I just wanted some more contrast. Okay. We're gonna put those off to the side. I'm gonna bring in my baby wipe. Dry it off. And then we have our trees left to do. Gosh, it's already 4:43. What? Can I just say OMG? We're using Old Olive, Mossy Meadow. I'm going to bring in the Old Olive. This video may go a little bit over. It's Labor Day weekend. You guys didn't have anything better to do, did ya? Okay. Where does the time go? Okay. So again, Old Olive. Be a little delicate with these trees. They do, they bend. And again, I know this is Old Olive ink on top of Old Olive cardstock, but it still does give it some depth. I don't know if you guys can see that. It gives it some oomph. Okay. Let's not forget about these little flowers. Oh, sniffle, sniffle. So sorry. Oh. Okay, Mossy Meadow. And again, this one's pretty dark, so a little bit goes a long way. And again, we're just trying to give it some dimension. You know, when you look out at a scene, the grass is not all one color of green. The sky is not all one color of blue. So, whoop. I told you guys to be gentle, and I'm not being very gentle, because now I'm trying to hurry because I see what time it is. Okay, I think I've already done these. Okay. Let me get a little more. Okay. Now look, I'm turning like into the Hulk. I do also have my Whisper White craft ink, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to take a blender pen. I have this blender pen marked with some washi tape so that I know it is for my craft ink. Oh, I forgot to, hold on. If you push your pad into the top, you get this puddle of ink right here. I know this is white on top of white and you can't see it very well, but I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to lay pretty thickly some white on these flowers. And you could make these any color. I just thought that the white really popped on top of the green. And again, I'm trying to make it pretty thick where you can't see the old olive through. I'm going to shut this so that I can squeeze it some more. I want some more ink. I'm sticking to everything. I may even come in here on my pad. Let me see if I can get a little bit more. Not really. I think that's probably good enough. Okay, I'm going to stick that to the side and let it dry. Craft ink does take a little bit longer to dry, so keep that in mind. Where did my lid go? It rolled way up there. Okay. And then I'm going to take one of my blenders. This is the Dark Blackberry Bliss, which I know sounds really weird and really funny, but I'm going to do these tree trunks. Believe it or not, this on top of the old olive makes it look brown. Okay, I think if you guys can see that, I kind of missed a little bit. I'm trying to rush now and I shouldn't. This is a beautiful card and it's just going to take longer than an hour, okay? Okay, Shauna, be okay with that. All right. Now I can get rid of, let me clean it real quick. This and get it out of there. Okay. I did bring in trying to grab too much stuff. Okay. I did bring in the beautiful butterflies. I know it's been a long time since you guys seen this, but I wanted the happy birthday. And this not only has a happy birthday, but it has a great die for the happy birthday. Here's a long one and here's a small one. I need this long one. So that's where I got my sentiment and the die for this. So I'm gonna grab me a scratch piece of paper of crumb cake. And I'm going to grab my early espresso. And pull that back in. Stamp that. Bring back in my die cut machine. Get that on there centered. Grab my little shim. Uh-oh, did it move? It did, it moved. I'm cockeyed. Okay, I've got this. There's 2 pieces to every paper. I'm just gonna try to stamp on the back of this. Let's see if we can salvage that. I think we can. This is a photopolymer stamp set, so that's the great thing about our photopolymer stamp sets. You can see exactly where you're stamping. And all of our stamps are going to this new photopolymer. So I'm excited. I'm just gonna line that up on my grid paper so that I know I'm nice and straight. There we go. 2 sides to a piece of paper. Oh, making a mess. Okay. Let's start putting this card together now that it's 4:53. Grab all my pieces. All right. We're going to start with these mountains. And again, I'm going to use maybe this up here. And I'm just trying to figure out, I want to get a little bit of this. And I kind of like this. So that's where I'm going to go with that. I am going to put a little bit of adhesive on this. And again, layer that. Got some glue, some adhesive peeking through there. And I want to bring in this. I don't want to forget him. So let me lay him just up there. I'm just putting him right there in that groove, kind of. And this looks good to me. Okay. And the reason this is the part that's gonna get old, you guys are gonna be like, oh my gosh. Okay. I'm gonna put this back in here and I'm gonna bring back over my deckled circle die. And I really would like to, give me just a second. Let me find, okay, I can't do that because of the lighting. Bear with me. I know I'm off camera. There it is, right there. I'm just trying to line this back up in here so that I know where this fits. So because my little dot is down here on my die, I'm gonna put a little line down here on my circle. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. I'm gonna lay this back in here. And again, I'm just matching this up with the grooves. So I think I'm fairly, oh my goodness, okay. There we go. This would probably be a lot easier to do if I didn't have my magnetic mat underneath. It would slide around a little bit easier. Okay. And this gets kind of thick, so it's not a bad idea. This is the reason why I do this, because I can then just take my little scissors, my little paper snips, and go around this and not fight with that thick paper. Okay. So now we're going to bring in our trees, and let me let you know, that's not the right trees. Where are my trees that are all inked? Is that, I guess that is the right trees. These trees, time and time again, I'm gonna bring in my card. Do you see how they kind of go this way? I don't know why this die has that problem, but I feel like to make your trees stand up straight, see how angled the bottom of this is? It's almost like the die is, like you have to put your die crooked to get your trees straight. So keep that in mind. Unless you want your trees blowing in the wind, going sideways. See this? Excuse me. There is a great southeast wind coming and it's blowing them. So if you want your trees straight, make sure they're straight. I'm going to just pull that one off, tear it off. And I'm going to tear this off. Now your trees are straight. I'm just letting you know, just some tips and tricks. And I'm not going to pull my die out again, just because this one's a pretty easy one to just snip. Snip, snip, snip. Okay. Now we're going to bring in our lake. And I did make one side a little bit not flat. So I've got some dimension in there. And we're gonna put some adhesive on this. And then we're gonna come in here and we're going to lay this on there. And again, this is pretty easy to just come in and cut around, because there are so many of these little slits in this water and we've done some ink blending. It's kind of worn down or broke down the toughness, the stiffness of that paper fiber. So it's pretty easy to go in there and do that too. Okay, where is this one? All it is just going in there and layering one thing after another. So that one's going to go about right there. Again, this die is just, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. So we're going to come in here about right there. Put that on. Again, bring out our scissors. And I am gonna kind of got my die off a little bit earlier, and it's like really, it's just kind of pulling off. I'm not really cutting this. I'm just kind of coming in here and evening it up so that when I go to lay this down on the card. Okay. And now, again, where's my little pokey tool? There are some little bits and pieces. My desk is really not that bad right now. I can't believe I can't find stuff. There it is. There are some little pieces to this tree that did not pop out. So let me just pull those out. Grab this. There are some little pieces to this too. I think that's all of them. Put some adhesive right here on this one. Come down here and put this down here. There's this little piece in here that is kind of not laying right. Looks weird because of the blue ink. There it goes. Okay, that's me being persnickety. I know you guys get on to me every time. I am grabbing my trees, and we're gonna actually put a little bit of dimensional dots on these. So I'm grabbing my little minis, and here are my big ones. I'm gonna bring this other tree in so that I don't forget it. Oh, my nose. Okay. I can use a big one down here, and then I think we'll go a mini and a mini and a mini. Let's go ahead. I think I'm at the point where I want to put this on the card. So give me just a second. Let me move some stuff out of my way. And I'm going to run this through. I know this sounds really weird, but I'm going to run this through one more time with this die. Remember, I put a little mark on the back next to where this, I'm going to bring it in front of me, sorry. the hardest part. I am still here, I promise. Okay. I just want to get this laid back in here. And you can tell it matches up. Okay, where's my cutting plate? There it is. Okay. And that just gets off any little bits and bobs to where it's all uniform across. Okay. I don't know if you can see all those little bitty pieces that kind of came out around the edges, but almost done, guys. We're not that far over. 506. I'm going to put some adhesive on our first layer. And again, let me kind of back up. Okay, so this was a normal A2 size. So this is half of a sheet of 8.5 by 11. So this is 8.5 by 5.5. No. Yes. Yes. 8.5 by 5.5. And then when you score it in the middle and fold it down, it's 4.25 by 5.5. This piece, this early espresso, measures 4 1/4, 4 1/8, see if I can read my measurements, by 5 3/8. So that's going to go on here, and again, it's just going to leave a 1/16 of an inch border. You know how I love those 16 inches. I drive you guys crazy with them all the way around. And this again is going to be 4 by 5 1/4, because again it is going to leave a 1/16 of an inch border all the way around. Let's see. And then I did, instead of using, I just took some tear and tape on this, because this is pretty thick and heavy because of all the layers that are on here. I wanted to make sure that whoever got this card it didn't fall off. I'm trying to find that didn't really lay straight. Not that it matters, but pull all of this off. I'm gonna come in here and we're gonna kind of put this a little bit to the top and then center it and like really push it down. You want to make sure it adheres really well. You don't want that popping off, coming up, whatever. Okay, and I did bring in some twine, and I'm just going to show you how I make a double bow. So I take it and I wrap it around my hands, my fingers, like 3 of my fingers, a couple of times. And then it actually naturally just curls up like that because of the way it's on this. So I just take this and my glue dots. I'm going to come in here and lay this on my glue dot. And then I'm going to grab my little pokey tool I have. Come on. It's catching on something. I don't know what. Kind of twisted up on me as I pulled that off. I don't know why, but I'm going to pull this little long piece of linen thread out so that I can untwist it. There we go. And then I'm going to come in here. I'm going to actually grab another one because I don't know. It like pulled off the paper on that. I don't know. So I'm going to put one on the back there. And then I'm going to turn it over and put one on that side. Then I'm going to come over here. I guess I need to put my trees down first. I'm trying to get ahead. Where'd my trees even go? Goodness, great. Look, guys. Okay, here's my clear plate. I put dimensionals on these trees. Now it's stuck to my clear plate. Isn't that great? Yeah. And I need to add a couple more dimensionals because I lost my dimensionals. This is what happens when you try to go too fast. Things start going awry. I need my pokey tool, and it's got my string on it because I forgot what I was doing. Oh, I'm a mess. I'm a mess. Okay. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to put these down about here. That's gonna go about there. I don't want it covering up my pretty flowers right there. I'm gonna put a little mini on this one. Come in and add that about there. There's so much dimension to this card, guys. This is definitely one that you probably would not want to mail. And I just put that on the wrong side. That needs to go on this side. Okay. So I did not add any dimension there because that's pretty much just going to lay right there on top of that stuff right there. I mean, could tack that down if I really wanted to, but I don't really need to. So now back to this bow that we got going on here. I'm just trying to make it look a little pretty here. Let's stick it over here. Almost done, I promise. And then these are the adhesive back textured dots. We've had these for a little while. I cannot remember, to be honest with you guys, if this is an online exclusive or I don't remember. I'm going to take that and just put it up here. And then I'm just going to kind of try to, because I did a double bow, that twine is a little bit thick right there, but once you play with it a little bit, it kind of all settles down. Anyway, I just kind of try to push that under so that it looks like it almost looks like it's a brad holding it all together. Hopefully that makes sense. And then I'm going to come in here and of course I'm going to go trimmy trim on my tails. And then one other thing that I did was I took this little silicone mat and I just kind of ran my pokey tool down this twine. You don't have to do this, but it kind of separates these threads a little bit. Hold on. It's causing me issues because I'm doing it live. Yesterday it worked out real well. I don't know what's going on. Anyway. There we go. Goodness gracious. Everything has to be so much more difficult on the video. What do you guys think of this card? Is it worth the pain in the butt? I think it is. Some cards are just a little bit more tedious than others, but I enjoy doing it, so I guess it doesn't feel like it's tedious to me. Anyway, there's about 2 or 3 pieces on each one of these twine. There we go. You can usually just run it through and it's just fine. Now I got my twine caught on a twig, a limb. Anyway, you can mess with that bow and make it look really pretty. I'm not gonna sit here and let you guys watch me do that. 5:18, I know we're over. Beautiful, thank you Mom, I think so. I think it's worth every bit of it. Okay, next weekend we'll go through the holiday mini, so don't miss out, see all the new product. Thanks for spending the last hour and a half with me. I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys have enjoyed what you've seen and you felt like it was well worth it. Have a wonderful Labor Day, and we'll see you back here for the new mini catalog. I'm so excited. Talk to you next week. Bye-bye.